Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So today we are going to proceed to chapter 4 for the topic of problem solving in office management. Okay, so for this topic we are referring to the Colliers and Keeling page 55 until 77. Next. Okay, so what are the learning outcomes for this chapter 4? So for this chapter 4, we are going to identify the purposes of applying problem solving and the uses of problem solving techniques in the office especially. Okay, so what are we going to learn for chapter 4? So in chapter 4, we are going to learn AOM, Administrative Office Manager, as a problem solver. Number 2, we need to know the problem solving and the productivity. And the third one, we need to know what are the problem solving process. And lastly, what are the barriers in solving office problem. So this video have three part, part 1, part 2 and part 3. Okay, so the first part, okay, so for the first part, we are going to learn about what is a problem. So what is the definition of a problem? So there are two common definitions of the problem. The first one is a problem is a question to be answered. Okay, for example, question to be answered is why you are late come to late come to the class. Okay, so this is the question to be answered. So why do you late? What is the problem of that problem? Why do you late to the class? Maybe you woke up late, maybe your alarm is not working, for example. A question to be answered. Okay, so that's the first what we call common definition of the problem. So the second one, a problem is considered as the difference between what is the present condition and what should be. What should be is what is the goal that you are going to reach in order for you to solve the problem. Okay, so the difference between that what is known and that which is unknown but desired. So, if undesirable circumstances exist over which manager have no control, then no problem exists. Okay, so this is referring to the Colliers and Keeling page 56 and 57. So, you need to know what are the definition of a problem. Okay, so the next one. Okay, so this is a figure 3.2 based on Colliers and Keeling. So what is the present state, or the condition, okay, and what should be the desired state or condition or the objective. Okay, for example, what is the present state is you supposed to come to class at 8 a.m. but what happened? You late to the class. Okay, and what should be, you should be earlier before the class started at 8 a.m. Okay, this is example of what is and what should be. Okay, next we are going to proceed to the second one is administrative. For the first one in the chapter 4 is administrative office manager as a problem solver. Okay, so administrative office manager are responsible for solving many basic functional problems such as the following. So number 1, as AOM, you need to set in the right objective. Number 2, you need to organize the employees, the equipment in the office, and also equipment as well as the space to meet this objective. Okay, number 3, you as AOM are directing and supervising the workforce in a productive manner. And lastly is you putting into place controls over systems and procedures to ensure that high level of productivity are maintained. Okay, so this one is referred to Colliers and Keeling page 56. Next, AOM, also administrative office manager, in order to solve a problem, so a problem solving actually requires a person's ability to tie together organization goals with the abilities to plan, organize, and use the many resources needed to meet those goals. Okay, so these are what we call additional information about administrative office manager as a problem solver. Okay, the next one. You need to know that as administrative office manager, face operating problems that put into action the policies made by top management. So there are two types of the problem, which is the routine problem or no routine problem. So what is routine problem? Routine problem that are well structured and that occur regularly with the operation of the business. For example, reordering office supplies and the recruiting of office employees. Okay, this is what example of the routine problem. The next one is no routine problem. So for no routine problem that are unique and that require creative solution. For example, setting a new branch. Okay, you are not setting a new branch routinely. Okay, compared to the routine problem, is always occur in any organization. Okay, and then you converting from manual to a computerized filing system. Not every organization we currently change their computerized filing system or their change of a new system. Okay, and lastly, another example is dealing with an unexpected drop in office productivity. Okay, maybe some of your employees reduce or decrease in their productivity. Okay, so this is you need to know that there are routine problem and no routine problem facing by the administrative office manager. Okay, next we are going to know to the second part, which is the problem solving as well as the productivity. Okay, so what is productivity? So productivity is the ratio between the resources, or in other words inputs, used by business firm, hours, okay, for example hours of labor, how long you are working every day, 8 hours, 10 hours, okay, the capital, the machinery, equipment, raw materials such as information and energy, and what the firm realized from using those resources. Okay, this is what we call the productivity. And how about the concept of office productivity? So the value of output produced outweighs the cost of the inputs and the cost of the throughputs. Okay, for this one we are referring again to the Collins and Killing page 58 to 59. Okay, so this is what we call productivity. Okay, I think you are familiar with the terms productivity. Okay, the next one. Okay, so this is example based on figure 3.3, which is the unproductive office and the productive office. Okay, now we are going to look for this one. Okay, the what we call dot. Okay, so the input plus throughout cost. Okay, and the value of output. Okay, this is what we call unproductive office. Okay, so for productive office, this is the one input throughout cost and value of output. Okay, when you take a look on this one, okay, how you're going to read this one? Okay, for this one you give you use a lot of what we call input. You use a lot of cost, but the value is this one. Okay, if this one is up, it means you have a very small output. But for this one, you just give what we call a few of a cost or input, but you produce a lot of output. Okay, this is what the figure 3.3 is presenting about. Okay, so the next one. Oh, okay, so that's it for problem solving in office management part 1. So we are going to continue after this in part 2 and part 3. Thank you.